Hello, Aku. How you be? I shall be with you shortly. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, how are we sounding? Sounding gay okay? I think we should be good. Oh, YouTube stream is busted? Oh no, that's not good. I can't believe this. Oh god, I got myself an extra... I got myself a new mouse, so we got like that extra clicky clacks going on. Not that my keyboard did not already make that happen. Fix itself, very nice. Yeah, no, happy to have you guys here. We are gonna try to knock out the rest of Legends ZA story tonight. I got myself my tea. I am absolutely ready. Okay. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so the last time we were here, we got to bug the heck out of Corbu. And Philip. That Philip. So right now I'm left with the conundrum. I believe that I was told that we don't really have any other particular fights that we need to go through until we get up to the very top. I think this is where we bring in, like, the A-team. So let's make sure that we've got all of our bases handled. Let's get you Cotton Guard. Reflect is good. This should be fine. Sludge Wave. I feel like, I feel like T-Bolt is just better coverage. This is fine. Okay. We can get everybody up to 66. No harm in that. I know that Zygarde is still here somewhere. Maybe Icy Wind would be better here? Or Dazzling Gleam. Nah, Icy Wind can help out for other reasons, so we'll do that instead. Diancie dropped today. She's slay as hell. Heck yeah. That's that good shit. Yeah, Diancie's always been, like, really rad as hell, though. Makes sense. Don't worry about me, though. I've still got Floette up here. Is this the way? No, down here. You're getting close to Zygarde. It's easier to tell from up here. Am I? Oh. No! No! The ladder! What am I gonna do without that? I guess go over here. How many have you lost in this chaos? I lost a good handful. I lost my Salamence. Oh, would you look at that? I'm probably gonna lose more. Okay, let's see. What can I use up against this? Well, Joey might die here. Oh god, all these are super offensive mons. What the heck? Oh. Never mind. We got them. We got them. We got our copy, guys. Oh my, do we have some late customers? I'm afraid that Nouveau Cafe is closed for the day. But you seem to be in need of some help from us anyway, don't you? Well, we offer more than fresh, fragrant blends. We've got high-quality trainers, too. Talking will have to wait. We have Pokemon to take care of. Ugh. I don't like this. Elmer should not be here. No one should be here, actually. Who's up to me right now? You know what? It's, I think that's free for all time. We gotta take down the Aerodactyl first. Where is he? You! Oh, not crunch. You can take a little more. You're fine. You're fine. See, Ironhead's A-okay. Okay, you've had enough. There better not be no ice punch. Dang, I thought that wouldn't. Oh, you don't know. This is working out well. A lot better than what I thought it would, actually. Future sight? Get out of that. Ow. Give it a kiss, pollo! There we go. Whew. This is the hell I mentioned. Yeah. The worst thing ever was having to fight up against the first two with the Mega Gengar and the Mega Heracross. Like, what the fuck am I going to whip out that doesn't just get destroyed there? The coverage was insane. I lost the entire team that I fought up against Tawny with for the final time, except for Elmer. I almost lost the Nuzlocke right there. Now then, with that disturbance taken care of, I'd say it's time for a little coffee break. One Ember Roast, our signature drink at Nouveau Cafe. Take it already. I wanted the burn-up roast. You remembered what it was from the very beginning, what? I bet your Pokemon are feeling as perked up as anything now too, right? You know, many people have likened the bitter depths of a fine roast to the nature of life itself. At times like these, I quite see what they mean. We failed to keep the tower from running amok. Now we must rely on you to salvage the situation. What are you gonna do? I will never be able to outrun my connection to Team Flare. Nor can I change those who will never forgive Team Flare for what happened 5 years ago. What I can control is what I do next. I will protect the people of this city, no matter what they may think of me. And what about you? What is it that you most want to achieve now? I gotta help my friend. That is a noble desire. Now, let us each set out to accomplish what we must. Who left that dog up here? I suspect Zygarde has been watching to see if you would make it this far. And now it shows itself at last, having deemed you worthy to battle alongside it. It's time, Layla. Oh my god, the bugs. It looks like we've got more customers incoming. I'm not sure they'll appreciate our blends, though. Unlikely. At least not when they've gone rogue like this. Let's get them back to seeing reason. Yep. I lost so many. We have... we have Graveyard 2 Totodile. You go do something about that tower. After all, the cafe can't exactly turn a profit if that thing blasts away half the neighborhood. We will handle this area for you. Fist bump. This way! I really hate the final boss of the game. It's so anticlimactic. Don't tell me! Don't worry, it'll be okay. I'll hype it up like mad, don't worry. It's hard to do, so stay on your toes. Oh no. Don't worry, me and this weird dog I found, I got this. 100%, it'll be easy. After all, remember, I've got Boyo. Hello, Sean. Hey, Doc. I see you from up here. I'm glad you found your way to Zygarde. Remember the day we met? How we got a glimpse of Floette's Light of Ruin? That move's gonna pack even more punch now. Watch yourself if Anji Floette starts attacking. Zygarde, you and Doc have to save Floette and all of Lumiose. Oh my gosh. I look away for 2 seconds and I got like 30 hydrates. I see you've proven yourself worthy of Zygarde's trust. I have gathered 99 of the lost Zygarde cells. Only 1 cell remains, the 1% needed to complete Zygarde at last. But afterward, will Zygarde and you truly be able to pacify this raging monstrosity? Will you be able to save Floette and your friend who are trapped within this rogue tower? The answer lies with you. I know that I was once among those who choose to take rather than to give, but that is no way to save the world. You must be the one who gives. Give to Zygarde, which is dear to you as a trainer. Give it the courage that drives you to stand and fight. Give it the opening it needs to attack! It's me, I had Wormo. Sean, were you the final Wormo? Who's been in my bag this entire time? You're the mole? Yeah, that's right, you're the mole, actually. Auntie Floette is ready to try to destroy anyone who comes near it. Were you sacrificed to the 4 winds? You were not sacrificed, you were murdered. I wasn't able to change the team before I knew what I was up against. Beefiest megas we got. Okay, understood. So get Gengar out of here. Wait, I might not get a choice. Yeah, no, I don't get a choice in this matter. I just have to fight with what I got. Whoa, hello. It's gonna be a long fight, I think. At least you were avenged and forever will be. Yes. Both you and Layla died in the same spot. Okay, I do gotta ask, where the heck is Zygarde? I mean, I don't really think I'm in danger right now, but this might take a second. You think it's 4 phases? I think we got this easy. We have truth, we have virtue, we have Poyo! All we gotta do is just give it a kiss, and then we wish. Ah! Okay, got me there. Give it a kiss. Very good. Alright, we wish up. Is this one like a physical attack version? So right now it looks like both of them only got 3 different moves right now. This one seems to be the Big Blammo. This is fine. Yeah, no, guys, we got this. This is gonna be easy. Oh my god, Poyo. Here, hang on. I'll divide up the damage at least a little bit. No, wait, that's a citrus berry. No. I might need that later. Come on, keep it going. Almost there. I think I'm fully healed now. There we go. Alright, first face down. Yeah, no, Poyo might just be the GOAT right now. Oh, hey, look, it's that weird dog I found. Are you not entertained? Wait, what? Oh. Oh, hello. Jeez, Zygarde, how come Game Freak gave you 4 signature moves? Uh-oh. Guys, last time that this happened, wasn't like all life extinguished within like a 500-mile radius? Oh, hey, look, the shield. I'm fine with this. Don't relax yet. The tower looks ready for more. Whoa! Alright, we got more, I see. Oh no. Poyo, get out of there. Woo, woo, woo. Poison gas. Okay, 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 okay. I got you, I got you. I see your game. I see your game, Game Freak. Big laser beam. Otherwise, oh! Not too different. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Just Hyper beam? Okay, that did get me, I think. Okay, keep at it. Poyo's wish came true. It's gathering power, huh? Uh-oh. You are staying with... Woo! That's it, that's fine. Okay. Just don't put Poyo in the poison. Yellow Londo! How you be? Okay, Hyper Beam coming up. Whack! It's okay, we'll just chill. We'll chill. Poison, okay. We just won't fight that one right now. That or we'll just Hyper Beam. Poyo, no. I will not lose Poyo. I deemed my... At the end of your Monday stream... Wait, what?! Did you? Also, why did you do it at the very end? Oh, I see. Bleh. Poyo, 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 poyo. I'm speaking in his native tongue. Bleh. What? Okay, give it a kiss. Give it a kiss. One flower down. Oh no. Weesh. No! Polio! No! No. I know what I need to do. This is for Pollo, you bastard! No! No. Never mind. Never mind. Wait. Huh? Come back. Pollo just died. Okay. Here comes the hyper beam. What? No! No, 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 no! Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry, God, you know what you gotta do. Oh my goodness. Okay. Out the boost. Come on. Come on, keep at it. Okay. So no more? Bomba, come on. Do this and you're done for now. Okay. Scudding Floette. Okay. Where? There we go. Get your guard up. Another one? I thought it was going to be a double. That actually works well for me. Oh no, not that though. Okay. Don't throw yourself in. Okay. The boost is down. Can we Calm Mind? Then we Surf. Think Psychic gets us in the next phase? Come on. Okay. This is it, right? Core Enforcer? Yes, okay. Alright, come on, weird dog I know you got this. Poyo gave his life for this! Yeah, let's go! You put an end to Anji Floette's rampage. The tower, or Anjay, or whatever it's called, it stopped. Seems you and Zygarde managed to save the day, Doc. Yo, don't forget about us! What about all the rogue Pokemon? They have all been pacified. When the top-ranked trainers of the ZA Royale join forces, we can accomplish anything! Alors, that goes without saying. All thanks to the superstar Lumios, Jacinthe, and the rest of you, I suppose. Sure, fine. Whatever you say at this point. Thank you all so much, especially you, Doc. Tawny, are you alright? I'm fine. It takes more than this to phase me. Now all that's left is for Mega Floette to take control of Anji, and we'll finally be done. And I trust Quasartico will put together a nice party to celebrate once things calm down. I'll see that it happens. After all, it's thanks to the efforts of Team MZ that we managed to stop the tower. I imagine AZ must be smiling. Splendid. I believe Riches and me would be the ideal venue for such a gathering when the time comes. Pass. I'm down for whatever, so long as everyone has a good time. Zap you later. That was Poggers. Just one last step, Floette. Do your thing. What was that sound? Good question. I'm so tired. Wait, I can still move? What's Anji trying to do? It can't be. No. No way. If Anji fires Floette's Light of Ruin while it's all powered up like this, there won't be any Lumios left to rebuild. Something inside your satchel is shaking. The rock. Some kind of power is emanating from your pebble. Huh? The pebble transformed into a Zygardite stone. Go on, weird dog, you got this. Who gave the dog a gun? Okay, never mind. Dog, shoot the gun. Dog, shoot the gun! Shoot the gun! Shoot the bullet! Shoot the bullet! Nihilite. Oh my goodness. Wait, did that make an X, Y, and then a Z? Okay, that's pretty hype. Yo. And then 90% of the 90% of the fan base then said, and then I kissed Corvo. Oh yeah. Yeah, Mega Zygarde, I saw its stats. It's insane. Probably the strongest Pokemon that we got right now. Aww. We screenshot that. And that too. Okay, god damn it, it's so wholesome. What the heck? As ever, it is our choices today that shape our tomorrows. I will forever be grateful to you, Team MC, my dear friends. AZ, please don't die. Please don't die. We just won. Okay, that was good. I did appreciate that a lot. God. We destroyed France. We did not destroy France. Listen, we made beautiful fireworks, that's all. Okay, so... oh my god, Gwen. I can't believe it. So let's see. I guess, let me start off with, like, the mechanics of the game, I guess. I loved it so much more than Legends Z, than Legends Arceus. And Legends Arceus was, like, a good step up from, like, the normal, Pokemon game mechanics and whatnot. We didn't have to worry about speed being, like, that much of a detriment in this game in particular. I remember losing so many Pokemon whenever I decided to Nuzlocke that game. Because whenever I tried to use a move, if I was using a slow Pokemon, it was going to be getting ousted by getting double hit by the next Pokemon that gets sent out. That was insane. I like the battles in this game and the environment catching of such a PLA. This game doesn't have motion controls for catching. Oh, I see. Yeah, I do agree with that. It probably was. It was a little bit easier to just like aim and just catch mons as you're going around in Legends Arceus. The introduction of like having mounted Pokemon, like the Stantler, definitely helped out with that as well, and Bastion Legion. It was pretty fun to be able to do that on top of those. Oh my god, just see it. Now, the game, however, felt infinitely more lived in. Wait, what do you mean by lived in? Honestly, like, I liked the use of stealth in this game in particular. It definitely wasn't done in the same way as Arceus, even if, you know, it's primarily just like you hide in the bush in Arceus and that keeps Pokemon from being able to see you. That's still very much the case in Legends ZA. I liked its application the most in the ZA Royale battle zones, because they weren't always obvious for like where you're able to hide, and it allowed a lot of creativity in how you're able to approach battles with the use of like the surprise mechanic for these fights. Arceus, stealth was, you know, I both of them had their charm with the stealth mechanic. Oh, okay, I like this picture. ZA Royale pissed me off on how when people would surprise you while your Pokemon are already inputting the move on theirs. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, I still don't understand how that one works, because sometimes whenever people capture you, they, or whenever they find you first, it doesn't trigger the surprise on your end whenever you're inputting a move, and other times it will. But that's just all out of my ignorance, and like the lesson that I learned from that is just I need to not let people see me whenever that happens. I think that the only downside to that is that if you're trying to do stuff like, you know, the 50 battle per night thing, that kind of gets in the way of that, just because you are having to wait for people to turn around and stuff. Also, did the Zygarde boss fight? Maybe. But no, as far as the battle system, I definitely like this one a little bit more. I liked the way that they approached switching out Pokemon. Even if it was, even if it's gotten a lot of my Pokemon killed, it was a good learning experience to know that, okay, whenever you send out a new Pokemon, that Pokemon is going to take 5 seconds to just, like, scream its cry, and it can easily get, like, destroyed around that point if you didn't send out the right Pokemon. It's level 84? Then absolutely not. Like, the DLC is going to be coming out for this game, like, what, next month? I don't know how I want to handle that. I think since we successfully completed this hardcore Nuzlocke, I might go into the DLC. Well, you know what? It sucked not to go into the DLC with, like, Venusaur and Zandy and Layla and Wolf and stuff like that. What do you guys think? Do you think that we call the Nuzlocke a success at this point? And just go into the DLC, just, like, free birding it, I guess? No, I thought that Mega Dimensions comes out in December, right? Or am I wrong on that? Yeah, I could have sworn that Mega Dimension was coming out in December. eShop said February. I can double check real quick, actually. Let me see. Confirms a release date for Mega Dimension on December 10th. So around that date, you'll see me play again to go through that little storyline. This was when the game first dropped. I see. Hey Lazo, when are you gonna talk like Vyakya? I'm not gonna talk like Vyakya right now. It doesn't really fit like the theming for it right now. I'm so hyped this is fire if it's dropping December. Yes, they're not making us wait right now. No! What do you mean he died? I told him to do one thing, just don't die. We won. He can celebrate with us. He was supposed to cook for us. Or maybe he did cook for us, because like like the credits was like the ending thing and stuff. It showed like the rebuilding of like Lumiose and yada yada yada. Even his grave is imposing. I guess that's fitting for AZ in a way. Seems like he handled all the preparations for it by himself. He had me take his measurements, but he told me it was so I could make him some new clothes. Not so he can have his grave dug. Keep watching over Lumiose, AZ. We'll make sure it becomes like you wanted. A city of harmony between us and Pokemon. I could be your AZ. No.
For 3,000 long years he bid farewell to so many, and now we bid farewell to him.
Let's go home. I think we need a good meal. Yes, that! I am starving. It'll be that curry again, I suppose. We've got so much left to take care of. So many things to clean up and set right. I like 1 and 3. I wish I could say both. We'll carry on the torch, though. You don't gotta worry about a thing, AC. Mans. Some days after the events with the tower, as calm begins to return to the city. Wait, so this was a few days! Your alarm is going off. Ah, do not hit me with the alarm is going off now that everything is done. No. You know what? That graveyard was for Poyo. I don't care what the story says. Poyo will be buried right with AZ. Isn't that right, Tyler 1? Morning, or afternoon, I guess. It's not been a few restful days for any of us, I imagine. Not after that awful battle with the tower and AZ passing away. Yeah, that awful tower won't quit hanging around in my nightmares. At least they've been able to clean things up. The reopening ceremony for Centrico Plaza should be wrapping up about now, in fact. I'm glad the plaza's fixed, but is now really the time for having ceremonies? Now is exactly the time, I'd say. We've got to celebrate where we can, even if it feels hard. After 2 catastrophes in 5 years, Lumiose needs all the happy occasions it can get. Guess you have a point. Anyway, did you figure out what you're gonna do? What I'll do? About your wish! The one you get for reaching rank A. You should have gotten a message about it when you signed up on the ZA app. Anyone who obtains the highest rank, rank A, will earn the right to call themselves one of Lumiose's strongest trainers, and be granted a wish, so long as it is in our power to fulfill. Does that ring a bell? I suppose your next step would be to talk to Vinny about what you desire. Well, you'll need to figure out what to ask for first, right? You saved the city. I bet they'd give you anything. Hey, all of you, come here a sec. I found something while I was sorting through AZ's stuff. Is that a letter? Could it be his will? I think so. Here, I'll read it out. To Team MZ, my dear friends. If you are reading this letter, then it would seem my time has finally come to an end. I leave you these instructions and final wishes. First, do with Hotel Z as you see fit. It is yours. If keeping it running would place a burden on your young lives, you may sell it. I ask only that you continue to look after Floette and all those who live in Lumiose City. I have been blessed to see the people of the city grow closer to all their new Pokemon neighbors, It is as you young ones once said, a joining of X and Y axes that were never expected to meet. May you all bring about a true evolution in the relationship between Pokemon and humankind. I have lived so very, very long and seen so many go before me. But thanks to you all, I know I will now go to meet my own ending with a smile on my face. I thank you from the bottom of this old heart. Signed, AZ. Oh, AZ. Oh, we left him on the roof the day the tower went berserk. He must have already been prepared for his end. Yeah, I think so. So, what will we do about the hotel? We probably don't need to worry about turning it into a thriving business, right? AZ did tell us he saw it more as his own final residence than anything. He did, yes, but keeping a building like this in good repair won't be cheap. Should we ask Vinny for help? Maybe Quasartico would lend a hand. I won't want to use our ZA Royale wish on this. I don't think it's what we worked so hard for. Vinny, what's up?
You were promised one wish to be granted if you achieved rank A. It's time we took care of that. Please join us on the south side of Centrico Plaza.
Understood. See you at Centrico Plaza.
We'll be waiting for you.
You all heard that, right? It's time to go meet Vinny. Guess you've got until you reach Centrico Plaza to figure out what you want to ask for. I'll figure it out.
Give me a metal coat. Let me get my Steelix.
I suspect everyone's quite curious to see what our two A-ranked trainers will request. You're probably right, but there's no point getting nervous about it. Let's head to Centrico Plaza. My dear Team MZ. Why are you here?
We simply had to find out what both of you A-ranked trainers would wish for.
The bottom line is this. I would love nothing more than the opportunity to battle all of you again.
And why not just ask to battle like trainers normally do?
I'm so glad you asked. My dream is to help every resident of Lumios become the best trainers they can be.
And my dream is to make the citizens of Lumio strong so that we can get rid of wild zones.
Pog? Pog?
Oh dear, I would never have expected to share a dream with someone like you. Nevertheless, I certainly would not object if you felt inclined to ask on my behalf for that tournament that is open to every trainer in Lumios. As for the name, how about something like Les Sublimes Autres Tournois de Chassis?
At that point, why would you even call it a tournament? Oh, whatever. Vinny's waiting. Let's go.
I need $5 billion in hard cash right now.
Oh, hey, look. So this is where I get that Pikachu. Hang on, hang on. We're settling that now. This has been a long time coming. I'm getting it. I don't care about nothing else. I'm getting my Raichu. Pat rat. Meanwhile, I got Jacinth and Ivor just like, what is he doing? Emolga. Esper. Precious. I can't have it, though. He's just in a time loop. Don't worry about him. Listen, I've been looking to find out where I can get a Raichu for like the longest time. Ever since I like got past Wild Zones like 1 and 3, I think. And Zandy told me that like Pikachu does spawn out here at the tree, but I guess now we know that like these Pokemon spawns here are like locked towards after you beat the game.
Banui.
Panpar. Don't mind me, just getting the berry. It can't hide from me forever. I will get that Pikachu. Oh, Eevee. I can't believe I lost my Vaporeon. Oh yeah, Sean. These are all the Pokemon that I lost, by the way. How often does Pikachu show up? I think Zandy said that it's like the last... Or it's like the least likely Pokemon to show up. But... doesn't mean I shouldn't try. Sacrifice the Hydrate. Okay, listen, this stream can't end until I get Pikachu. That's just how this is gonna work. Isn't there a wild zone that has... Yes, there is, but I've already gotten my encounters from all the wild zones, so I can't get Pikachu from there. It's like 1 or 2% chance, yep. I was kind of surprised, too, because, like, I could have sworn that I saw Pichu on a couple of rooftops, but I was never really able to find it whenever I was trying to search for my final encounters. Because after getting all my Wild Zone encounters, like, I saw that there were, like, a lot of encounters that I can get that were outside of the Wild Zones, like, on the rooftops and in certain, like, park districts and stuff like that. It's where I got, like, Emolga, Dedenne, you, actually, Trubbish. A lot of different Pokemon. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm so glad that the spawn is actually here. Cleffa, Clefable, those things don't have a wild zone. Actually, no. I think that Clefairy has a wild zone in this one right here. But, I thought it was fine enough for me to just get it out in the city, so long as it was in a sector that I had not already gotten something out of. But yeah, no, I could have sworn that Pichu was among the ones that I would have been able to nab in that manner. But I was just never able to find it. Which sucked, because, like, I didn't have a fast electric type. I could be lying on that one, though. Do I have a fast electric type right now, and I'm just not really paying attention to it? I mean, I guess if you count, like, a Molga and Dedenne, but, personally, I don't. Not really for, like, mons that I would really feel comfortable having, well, having to rely on putting to a job. Oh my god, actually, hang on. I know what I need to do. I think... I'll get the Pikachu at another time. Guys, there's something else that we need to do. I think that the best way for me to spend the remainder of stream is for me to... Oh yeah, this will work out just fine. Wild Zone 20? Nope, not Wild Zone 20. So, I have a tradition for whenever I beat a Nuzlocke, the way that I normally celebrate is that I will make a tier list based off of all the Pokemon that we found. And I'll basically put them into a ranking system to basically let people know, yeah, no, this is how I felt about these Pokemon, and how awesome that they were in the Nuzlocke, and how useful I think that they actually are. Now let me just do this real quick. Wow. Very poggers, very cool. Let me do this. Bring this down. Whoops. Too far down. Too far up. Still too far. How about right here? Nay. Hang on, we're getting there, guys. There we go. Unless you put my Garbodor in rank S shit tier list. Okay, listen, so here's how I normally go about it. How are we as far as, like, visibility? Can we see everything well? Let me make sure that this is in, like, a spot where you guys can actually see what I'm putting. You can see what I'm putting down. You can smell what I'm cooking, so you can... Oh my god, it's, like, right in front of my face right now. No! No! I think I might need to do it in some other way. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. This is a little better. Kind of wish that I had it. Kind of wish I had it a little bit better. Actually, hang on, no. I think we can do it like this. I'm fine with it like being in front of my face. It's whatever. Yeah, that's a Smasher. That one is the Smasher Pass Pokemon Stream one. That's okay. I think this is gonna serve us better, even if like my face is very much obstructed. Wow. That, or maybe I can just put my face like. Let me copy this, and I'll put it right here. There we go. Close enough, close enough. And no, I don't care if there's like a little thing in the way. Okay. So, the way that we always cap this off, there's a Giga Chad tier, and you could only have one Pokemon go into it. Dot question, since this is the first game over... Wait. Since this is the first game over every shiny hunted for, is it better to wipe the random Pokemon that aren't your targets, or should you keep everything even if it's not your target? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. Because I don't think that like, the spawns really are determined based off of what you kill. Stream will load for you. How's everyone on stream? We looking good? Yeah, we're looking good, I think. Let me know if I'm lying on that. It's fine for you? Okay, got it. Alright. A tier. I should put this one as... Actually, hang on. We need another tier. We need one more tier. Actually, A tier is fine. A tier is fine. We don't really need another moniker for this one. This one needs... Surprise me tier. This one is going to be for, okay, so for A, obviously, this is going to be for Pokemon that, this one's not really going to be too controversial. I think that every single Pokemon, except from, like, maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon that I put in A tier, are going to be like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This is for, like, all the really, really solid and reliable Pokemon that are always going to be, useful on a team. They'll always be able to do stuff, even if, like, the reason that you pick them isn't supposed to be for like a specific answer to something. This is just something you can almost always rely on. That's my A tier, basically. Surprise Me tier, this is going to be for the Pokemon that I thought were not going to be performing as well as what I would have expected. In some ways, the Surprise Me tier can actually surpass rank A. And that's probably just going to be for special cases, and we'll probably go over that if it's ever questioned. Put one of the tiers as Garbodor tier? I cannot. Okay. B tier is going to be our solid tier. Solid is just like, if you put this on the team for a specific role, you can always count on it to be able to fulfill that role. These are like where I put in a lot of Pokemon that if I need to be able to take down a specific type or something, I'm normally going to draw my attention towards this Pokemon. And I can, you know, pretty reliably assess that, like, this Pokemon is going to be able to settle the job that I sent it out to do. Whereas A tier is like a Pokemon where, like, I can put this on the team and I can know that it's going to get something done, even if it's not for a specific role. B tier here is for this thing has a job and it does it really well. Alright, C tier is, the good but outperformed tier. Or needs resources. If a Pokemon is not going to be good without, like, using up your Mega Slot, it's probably going to go down here. If it's something that only performs, like, average, but can still perform a job, or has, like, a niche, it's going to go in here. No, sorry. Bad tier is too mean. Let's do Cannon Fodder. Cannon Fodder tier is Pokemon that I don't really feel are going to serve a purpose. They're going to have struggles fulfilling even a goal that you have in mind for it, for a specific Pokemon. And outside of those roles, it's not really going to be able to do much, and it's generally going to be a Pokemon that I don't really feel I would ever miss if it died. Frowny Face tier, this one is going to be for a Pokemon that that died a little bit too early for me to be able to make a proper judge as far as how useful that this Pokemon is in a Nuzlocke, okay? That's where we're going for that. And for not available, they're going to be for Pokemon that I did not roll in my encounter rolls, or that I just didn't pick for like, specific encounters that, like, I would be able to pick that you can only have, like, one choice of. Alright, we got the rules done? Good. Because the first one is Meganium. Meganium, solid tier choice, or solid A tier choice. There's not really many things that are really going to be able to stop Meganium. This is definitely a game where you don't want to be able to pick a Pokemon that's going to die on the first hit to anything. If it is going to die to a first hit on any Pokemon, it's not really that good. And it sucks to have to say that, but what doesn't suck is to say that Meganium actually has a very, very good role in this game. It's not just to be able to take down the dragon types. It's not just to take down water types. If I don't know what to bring, as long as it's not like a poison type, I feel comfortable bringing Meganium. And then obviously, like, as far as like availability concerns, like you get at the very start of the game, it's going to be useful to. This thing was useful for me up until the point of the Corbo arc. Actually, it had like a really good matchup in almost every single meaningful fight in the game up until the Corbo arc. And then I kind of had to give it like a backseat. But other than that, like, Meganium is very, very solid this game. I really like it. Definitely did not regret the choice. Now for Totodile, obviously did not pick that one. Tepig did not pick that one. It's going to go in NA. Talonflame. This actually goes in good but outperformed. I was in a lot of dire straits when trying to keep like a good water, grass water fire core. on my team for a lot of the matchups where I'm just like, okay, I don't really know what I'm fighting up against. As long as I have like those 3 types settled, I should be all good. Talonflame was probably my last pick for like a fire type. I think that it could actually get it done, but the problem with Talonflame is something that you're probably gonna understand. Its best moves are gonna kill itself. And that sucks whenever like Talonflame doesn't really have like a good HP stat or a good defense stat. Having to rely on Flare Blitz and Brave Bird is not really good. And if you're stuck having to stick with a move set like Flamethrower, Air Slash, what else would it get? Those are pretty much like the only moves that you'd be able to keep on reliably. I forgot if it even got Hurricane. I don't think it did. So like a good special attacking set on Talonflame, you weren't really going to find something that made it work incredibly. And you're living in a world where there actually is like a lot of rock coverage in this game. Rock coverage that you're not going to expect from certain Pokemon too. Like you might bring this out up against Corvos and his Scolipede, and then he just kills you with Rock Slide. Or Stone Edge, I forgot which one that he had on it, but yeah, the things that you would expect to be able to take down with a Fire Flying type, you're gonna be disappointed with Talonflame, I feel. At least over other bonds. Bunnelby. Bunnelby actually goes into the Frowny Face tier. Wait, it has Hurricane and Heat Wave? Like SP Talonflame? Okay, gotcha. Okay. So it's got like a decent moveset that'll be able to get it done. If you really did settle into it. I just think that they're like every other fire type that I came into contact with outperformed it in my experience. I never really had as much fear throwing out a fire type as much as I did with Talonflame, just because any stray rock move is going to kill it. Its strength is switching out into after someone tries to use Earthquake on your Metagross. Oh, Metagross. Oh, this is, to be clear, this is not for this is not for PvP concerns. This is like strictly in like the context of a playthrough, of a Nuzlocke playthrough specifically. But I do see that as being a very useful trait for it in actual PvP. But back to Bunnelby. Bunnelby, normally I would cast aside Bunnelby. Its strength is to throw out a weak Pokemon to make the opponent underestimate you. Yeah, true. But Bunnelby, I would normally like cast off Bunnelby and assume that it's going to be like a pretty bad Pokemon. Especially since, you know, we don't get abilities, and since Huge Power is a hidden ability for Diggersby, it wouldn't really be present here. But, if there's one thing that we're going to be learning tonight, it's going to be that a lot of normal types in this game actually don't have a lot of good normal type moves. They're normally going to be compensated with maybe getting another typing through a Mega Evolution that makes them more into that type than a normal type. Or you're going to get nothing at all. And I'll show you what I mean whenever we get to the certain Pokemon that I'm referring to in that regard. But Diggersby actually does have good moves. It's got Earthquake. It's got your ground and rock coverage that you would ever need. It has got Body Slam. It actually does have decent normal type moves that aren't gonna reliably or that are actually reliable and not gonna actually hurt itself. Like if it only got like Takedown or Double Edge as its strongest attack moves, or if it got stuck with like Headbutt, I probably would just throw this thing in cannon fodder without like any second thought, even if I didn't get it to Diggersby before it died. This was one of the Pokemon that died to Naveen. Okay, Vivian. Honestly, cannon fodder. This one is a little bit odd for me to be putting in cannon fodder, because I actually really like Vivian and Butterfree and a lot of the different, basically the powder bugs. The powder bugs are, I think, are underrated in a lot of Nuzlocke situations. Legends ZA doesn't really give you the same benefit with the powder bugs. Sleep powder, obviously, it makes it so that like if someone misses a rock move or something like that, it's not going to be able to use that rock move for a long, long time. But unfortunately, That doesn't save it here. This thing is going to be casting Hurricane and Bug Buzz, which are good moves. But there are a lot of Pokemon that already like fulfill its task a little bit better than it, and it's kind of saturated to the point where I don't really care if it dies. Unlike this one, Beedrill surprised me. Honestly, this is probably a Pokemon that I would probably put in A tier, and it would be like the most surprising A tier, so that's why it's got to go into the surprise me tier. This thing actually carries you through the early game. Like, it's actually insane. I saw that people were talking about, like, Boys or Blah, the Heracross being everyone's, like, early game carry. I didn't really let myself, or rather, I wouldn't let myself use Heracross. Because, for one, I didn't get Pikachu from the Wild Zone, so I pretty much just did it for side quest purposes. But after a while, I was just like, I mean, if it's like a side quest and I got this Pokemon from, like, a specific area, I can just have it be my encounter from that. But I didn't get to that point until, like, I already beat... I don't think I did it until I like, at least beat Corbo, I think. And then after, in, like, that point to the late game, I found that Heracross didn't really help me out too much. But Beedrill's actually kind of insane, just because it gets Ped Missile super early on to the game. That move is cracked in this game. It shouldn't be. Boy's also using speedruns now. He's the carry in speedruns. Yes, he should be. Because he is insane. He would be insane in the early game for the exact same reason that Beedrill is, but like times 3, I imagine. But just for the fact that Beedrill was able to perform a similar role is the reason why he's in surprise me tier. Like, he's better than Solid. He would be better than B tier, and he's a B. And I hate that he carried me through the early game. I actually despise this B, but he's good. He is very good. Don't slash on him this game. Alright. Pidgeot. I think for Pidgeot would be like the worst. He's a wasp? No, you're... He doesn't need a wasp. He's a wasp cosplaying as a bee. Found a Shalfa Heracross and it's very pink. Yes. It's very much strawberry flavored. Pidgeot. I think I would have Pidgeot as being the worst in the solid tier or the best in good but outperformed. Honestly, I think I like Pidgeot. No matter what, Pidgeot's going to be higher than Talonflame, I feel, because I've noticed that Mega Pidgeot is actually able to outperform Talonflame in its own role of being like a fire type. And even outside of that, like, this thing isn't going to die, like, immediately, surprisingly. I didn't think it would be like this, but... Throwing gummy worms at Lazo. Ah! How dare... Why? Also, welcome. We are doing a tier list now that I've completed the game. I would say the Pidgeot's actually really good because it gets, it gets like your basic moveset. It is super basic in that regard. Honestly, it gets like the same moves that Talonflame gets, but whenever it becomes Mega Pidgeot, it outperforms it in every single regard. And it's not bad outside of its Mega form either. Like, I feel like I can rely on its Hurricanes and stuff a whole lot better, and it doesn't die immediately to a rock move if like a stray rock just like falls out of nowhere. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna have it be like the poster child of like solids. Of the solid tier, at least for right now. Maybe I'll dunk it lower. Ampharos. This one might be top of solid or bottom of A. Actually, I think I have to put Ampharos in A because I've never once felt like if I put Ampharos on the team, I'm not gonna have an answer to things unless if I'm just straight up going up against ground types. Congrats! Thank you, kinda, Kazu. Naming it Strawberry. Very nice. Not too much to say on Ampharos. Like, its coverage isn't the craziest, but you'll find that it's a lot more versatile than what its model typing really says. I never really actually needed Ampharos for its Mega, so I think that definitely keeps it out of C tier for me, like by a long shot. And honestly, I would put it on par with Meganium as far as like its versatility, because it's got Thunderbolt, Power Gem, Dazzling Gleam. You can give it Dragon Pulse if you really want to. And like I said before, I never really needed it for its Mega. I was able to it was able to carry itself on its own because it's bulky enough to not get destroyed by pretty much anything, even if it had like even if it was like a ground type, unless if it was Excadrill that it was fighting up against, in which case, don't send out Ampharos and you're going to be good. Watchog. Watchog is very much an easy cannon fodder replacement. I love the guy. Glad that it finally got into a game after, what, Generation 6? I think that was the last game that they ever introduced it in. And then they finally brought it back in Gen 9 for this in particular. Unfortunately, they didn't really do a lot of favors for Watchog here. They didn't really give it much more coverage. They didn't really give it any good normal type moves at all. This was another example of a Pokemon that, like, if you wanted to use like its strongest reliable moves that doesn't kill itself in a video game, you're going to be slamming this thing with Headbutt. And you'll probably give it like Dynamic Punch and stuff like that if you really wanted to. And that's not too bad. That and Crunch. But that's pretty much like all that you're really left with, and its stats leave so much to be desired. This is definitely a Pokemon where I felt like its best use to me was to send it out to sack up against an incredibly strong Pokemon. Mine ended up... I used it to be able to get through Terragon, because my team was prepared to fight Canary, and I did not know that Terragon would be my next fight. Okay, next up. I feel like this one would probably be more controversial than anything else I've played so far, outside of maybe Beedrill. Roserade, I'm going to put in good, but got outperformed. You get a lot of... You get a decent amount of grass types in this game, and this is probably just because I was able to run around with Meganium and Victory Bell, but both of them I found were able to very easily outshine Roserade. I was able to use Roserade in matches where like I needed a niche for it, but there was never really a moment where I thought, hey, I needed Roserade on the team before I picked like at least 3 other grass types before it. Can't believe you had Beedrill and surprised me. This thing carried me. It's so good. Watchog Super Fang King. Yes, I did actually use it for Super Fang. That is also a good point, Krim. It did have that little niche going for it, but never really saw a moment where I wasn't just like, okay, if this thing dies, I'm going to be mortified. That was never me. I was okay if it fell. Magikarp. Naveen took you from me. I'm so sad about it too. Gyarados, I feel, is another Pokemon that would have easily carried me through so much of the game. That one probably would have been in like my A tier, and Beedrill might have been in my good but outperformed. If, yeah. Naveen destroyed my early game. Holy crap. You're gonna find that further and further as we go through this. Is that why you hate Naveen? Yeah, Naveen killed 5 of my Pokemon. I didn't expect for him to have like the same level mons as like the last boss that I fought. And I remember that my team just got utterly obliterated by his Spinarak because it had X-Scissor. Defeat, yeah. Alright, not much else to say about Magikarp. Can't really say how good he would have been in this game. I'm certain that Gyarados would have been amazing, but I don't have the experience to be able to give you that critique. Unlike Barbicle. Barbicle was actually a late game pick for me. I didn't get it until we got to the Wild Zone where you can get, like, Starmie and, I think Phalanx? Yeah. It was late game for me. But, even still, this thing was just a monster. I feel like I had, like, a better Terrakion on my team. Just by being able to get this guy as Mega. Close Combat, Stone Edge, or even, like, Rock Slide. Alongside, like, Liquidation and, just any other move, pretty much. I probably was just Rock and Protect, just to not get ousted by certain moves, but... yeah, no, Barbicle, really great Pokemon. I don't really care too much for its design. It doesn't really speak to me, but I can't... This is a Pokemon where I have to say, like, even if I don't have feelings for this Pokemon, this thing has results. And I can back it up. Just don't let grass types touch it, and you're good. Got any shinies in the graveyard you don't want to keep? I want to keep all my shinies. The last thing that we lost was Poyo in the very, very final battle. I pleaded with Zygarde, you have to avenge Poyo. That's my Shalpa. Not Shalpa. My Shalfa Slurpuff. Alright, who's next? Oh yeah, Staryu. Another another victim of Naveen. Rest in piss, Poyo. He's off having ice cream up in the sky. Staryu, another Naveen victim. Just got completely ousted. Completely owned. Can't do much else about that. Florges. I feel like I'm being mean. Florges didn't do anything wrong, but, like, I just felt like I always had a better fairy type. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, God. Because Florges is reliable. I feel like you probably could bring in Florges into matchups that, like, this tier doesn't really represent very well. Maybe I'll put it at, like, the top. I just got a lot of different fairy types in the game that I just didn't really feel like I needed a Florges on my team at all. Maybe that's just from the oversaturation. Maybe that's just because, like, Meganium kind of fulfills the role that Florges would. But for me, Florges was a Pokemon that I was okay sending in most times, but I had so many other options before I picked it. So that's why it's going there. Skiddo. Naveen destroyed you. The freaking bug, I swear. Esper, same deal. These were the 5 mons that got completely destroyed by Naveen, by the way. Also, the clouds are extra fluffy where Poyo rests. Correct. You did get the shiny charm? Yes. I saw. I'm very, very happy for you on that regard. Haku, my Pyroar. This is definitely going to be a solid tier. Just a little bit ahead of Pidgeot, not really too far. Pyroar is just a mon that I would recommend getting over Talonflame if you really needed a fire type. Stronger. Not faster, but definitely bulkier. You can definitely rely on it for a little bit more. Its moveset is actually not too great in the very beginning. You want this thing with Flamethrower, but it doesn't get it for a while. You might actually get the TM for it before you actually get the level for it. In a hardcore Nuzlocke setting, at least. But even so, like, none of its stats are bad. You just wish that you could use its special attack more than its attack, and you're probably going to be using Crunch and Fire Fang more than what you would expect to using this Pokemon early. Time to Shiny Hunt. Heck yeah. Alright. Pancham. Did not roll Pancham ever, which is a shame because I really like Pangoro. Okay, Garbodor. God. Any shiny Yor after by chance? I don't think so right now. I'd have to think on that a little bit. I like just not being the game, so right now I'm thinking my mind's like all over like the game itself and not really over the specifics at the moment. If I think of anything, I'll let you know. For Garbodor, I hate that I have to put it here. But Garbodor is actually fodder, like cannon fodder. I would not be ashamed to like have this thing just like explode. Londo, I really do apologize. I actually have used you in more fights than what I really care to admit. But it was not really out of necessity. Garbodor, it's just you need more coverage. I don't know what else to say. Like you gotta like poison normal, and you can get like Bullet Seed for like a grass move if you really wanted that. This is the worst take I've ever seen in my life. Well, you gotta be hearing more of it. I'm not done yet, because, like, this is... You need something better. Like, they should have given Garbodor Earthquake. If they gave Garbodor Earthquake, I would not be so mean on it. Or if they gave it something like Rock Blast, or... anything that was more than just a bunch of Poison-type moves. It's really, really bad. I don't know what else to say. If you need something that's just gonna spam Poison-type moves or something until it dies, like, this is what you use. Like, I used you for a lot of the ZA Royale stuff whenever you get, like, a bonus card that's just, like, use, like, 20 Poison-type attacks. That's what I used you for. I'm also down for shiny trading if you want anything. Just spitball. Yeah. But no, there's just, like, no coverage on this thing. Like, I tried. You get, like, Headbutt. That's pretty much it. Headbutt Bullet Seed. You get a couple of special attacks, but like special is like your worst stat ever. You really want to be able to use your attack. Like the move pool is so dry, I've actually been having to use Sludge Wave, which is just poison again, but it's a special move. Because I feel like the differentiation, if I'm up against something with a lot of defense, is actually more worth it than actually trying to give it something like Giga Drain. But alright, that's all I really got to say about Garbodor. I should have exploded Yolando, I'm sorry. Dedenne. Cannon Fodder tier. A lot of the Pokemon that you only are able to get in Lumiose. Don't give me that look, Londo. You know it's true. They should have just given it Earthquake. It would have made it so much better. But no, Dedenne actually doesn't really suffer from like a bad move pool. It gets, I mean, maybe it doesn't get like Moonblast or anything, but it gets Dazzling Gleam for a special Fairy type move. It gets Thunderbolt. It gets Nuzzle. It gets Charm. You can probably find some way that you can be able to make this thing work, but I wouldn't really recommend it for any important fight. You can definitely use it for like any fodder fights, and just keep it on your team just to fulfill any like electric style quests and to prepare for the worst. Just so you don't lose a more valuable member on the team. That's kind of what this Cannon Fodder tier is representing. Alexa, how do I unsubscribe? Listen, the truth can hurt. I'm sorry. Garbodor, they blame Game Freak on that one. I really did try to make Garbodor work a little bit more than what I was able to. Like, I'm frustrated with Garbodor because I gave it so many chances. Alright, Pichu, unfortunately, did not get the chance to be able to get it. That's okay. For a DLC, I'll be able to have a Raichu for you. Clefable. Clefable was basically a worse Florges. Just a lot of different options that I would have been able to make without it. It's got a better move pool, I will say that. But even with, like, its new Mega, it kind of falls under the ordeal where I would rather have Florges because it's a better Clefable and it doesn't require a Megastone. And even with the Megastone, you probably would rather use that on Meganium if you really need, like, a Fairy type. Or a couple of other Pokemon that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, next up, Ariados. I really liked Ariados this playthrough. Did it really serve me too much of a purpose? It was a more useful poison type than Garbodor. That's about all that I can really say for it. Swords Dance made it pretty good. It got Poison Jab. It had X Scissors super early, leading up into Mega Horn for really strong bug moves. The real main issue with Ariados is that a lot of things resist bug in this game. Like even on this. Like, even in this tier list right now, a lot of things are not going to be really given a shit if you hit it with a Bug-type move. There are things that will care if you hit it with a Bug-type move, but chances are they might also be Psychic-type, and you don't want Ariados to going up against a Psychic-type. So it is going to be in C tier, but I had a lot of fun using it, just because of its raw attack power, and from its good moveset, and occasionally with Swords Dance if you can actually live a move before getting it off. Now, Arbok? Arbok's a solid tier. Arbok is what I kind of wish that Garbodor could have become. And it's really all in the move pool here. Arbok is baby. Yes, I love Arbok. Honestly, I would probably be putting it in A tier if I could safely say that I will put it on almost any team. Arbok kind of suffers from just like low stat syndrome, but I would still put it above Pidgeot. This thing comes out of the gate with Gunk Shot. You get Poison Jab from Maple's research pretty early on whenever you get it. So like the second that you make it into an Arbok, you can already give it like a really strong Poison type move. Later on, it can get Earthquake as well as being able to have access to like Ice Fang, and even as like an Ekans, like it's not too long into the game before you get access to Giga Drain. And around that point in the game, it's not a bad move to have on Arbok. Hey. Hey, Londo. Plus, you get a lot of different little tertiary moves. Like you can have Crunch for psychic types. You can have Glare if you need to be able to paralyze things. It's got a lot of useful utility as well as a decent move pool for being able to get good coverage. This is what I want out of like a poison type. As like an early to mid game poison type, even if I did use it a little bit in later game. Kadabra. Honestly, this one is gonna go in just solid tier, not A tier. This is a Pokemon where I feel like if I needed something to hit hard with Psychic type damage, or maybe with Focus Blast or Dazzling Gleam, I could whip out Alakazam. I didn't really use it too much else outside of that, but if I really, really, really needed special attackers, Alakazam was probably going to be on the team. Not really too much was up with outclass in that regard, but it's just a matter of it being so frail, you're not going to feel confident on putting it on every team. It needs a mission, and it can do that mission well, but it needs like a goal, or else it's not going to do anything. Oh, excuse me, guys. There we go. Hey, Chihiro. Yes, you did press the back button by accident, did you? Okay, next up. Gengar. Surprisingly, I know I just was talking about how Alakazam was very easy to kill. Gengar, just from the notion of having more immunities than Alakazam that were pretty common in this game. Normal in fighting is something that you're going to be seeing a lot. Like my cat about to fall. Gengar's actually able to handle them pretty well and be able to hit back really, really hard. It doesn't get Shadow Ball until very late into the game, but you do get it as a Haunter pretty dang early. And you also are able to teach it things like Giga Drain, Thunderbolt, Psychic. This is like a coverage machine that fits more coverage than Alakazam, while also having a few things that you could swap it out into without worry. I'm curious if Alakazam is usable with screen support, to be honest. With Reflect, I would imagine so. Because, I mean, like, it's got Recover and it's got Reflect, so you can have that to be able to, you know, give yourself, like, a little bit more of a buffer. But it's still nothing that you could, like, swap into anything, and I felt like that alone, I feel like that trait, being able to swap it into another move that's coming out, that you don't want to be able to kill a Pokemon that's already in, I feel like that's a trait that I really, really, really appreciate. And, like, as you can see, pretty much everybody in A tier right now, outside of Gengar, is pretty dang bulky, or has something that you can, like, easily swap into. Or something that you can easily swap it into. But yeah, no, that's why Gengar's there. Also a good option for your Mega. I think everybody in A, except for Ampharos, is someone that I would definitely not feel like I'm wasting resources if I dumped my Mega slot into. Scolipede. Unfortunately, I did not really find a lot of use for Scolipede by the time that I got it. I used Ariados more. But that is of no fault of Scolipede. I'm certain that if I did give it more attention, it would definitely be higher. I'll probably put it in solid. Especially after getting its Megastone. But you kind of run into an issue where... Well, I'll say this on my behalf at least. I kind of got to a point where my box was filled with a lot of grass poison types and a lot of bug poison types. So there was a lot of saturation for this particular role. And Scolipede nor Ariados are really going to fit it every single time that you need that role fulfilled. And like I said before, with Ariados, there are a lot of things that resist bug. A lot of the times you got things that bug does really well up against, but you don't want to send your bug up against them because it's probably going to be a psychic type, like I said before. And rock moves are everywhere. Just a lot of things kind of go up against this particular typing, even if I really do like all these Pokemon. That's all I really got to say about it. Scolipede could probably be a lot better. I don't think it's cannon fodder. We'll continue on. Honedge. Did not roll it. Don't get any opinions on it. Victory Bell. Victory Bell would be a good example of a grass type that if I felt like I needed to have like a fire, water, grass core activated, Victory Bell would probably be one of my first picks. It's very, very good. It gets Power Whip, not too late into its levels, alongside Poison Jab, and even before then, you're going to be getting like Sludge Wave and Razor Leaf and stuff. Like, you're going to be able to have options with this. Giga Drain knockoff. A lot of different good coverage. It's a trap. It is a fly trap, yes. Or a pitcher trap. Pitcher plant, which is a trap plant. But no, nothing else to say on that one. It's not too bad of a use of your Megastone either. I should also say that is the same for Alakazam. Pyroar, I don't think I ever really had the chance of getting the Pyroar right. Like, I could be wrong in that, but I think that it's like a rank A thing. But I might be able to check that later. We'll see. Okay, remember whenever I mentioned about having, or the importance of having like a fire, water, grass core? That does not really include the elemental monkeys. This trio here was something that I'm gonna say I might be a little bit mean on them. If I got them a little bit earlier in the game. Which I could have if I like fully established my encounter roles outside of the wild zones, because you can only get them out in the city. My cat found her bell. Oh no. But no, they do have uses, I think. But these were definitely the Pokemon that I did not really care if I lost. And I definitely would not pick any of my other, like, fire, grass, or water Pokemon before them. Or, well, after them, I should say. But yeah, no, not much else to say about the monkeys. They can serve their role. If I was being nice, I probably would put them in C tier here, but we'll keep them down here for now. Medicham. Unfortunately, this is a Pokemon where I feel, I feel like I would not ever use this Pokemon the next time that I play this game. Because it stays as a meta type for way too long, and it doesn't get a good fighting move until, like, Dynamic Punch or something like that. Let me double check it just so I'm not, like, talking on my ass right here. But I remember being stuck with Rock Smash as, like, its strongest fighting type move for the longest time. Yeah, it does not get, like, another, like, fighting type move off of its own learn set until, like, level 52 as Dynamic Punch. Like, you need to get Brick Break on this thing as soon as possible. And that, I'm talking about, like, before you even get it as, like, a Medicham. And even as Medicham, it's not good, in my opinion. Like, you're going to be throwing this thing out. It's going to be using, like, Zen Headbutt, Brick Break until you get close combat, then you can whip up close combat. Around that time, I think that you can make it work with close combat, I reckon, but God, I don't think I can recommend using this Pokemon in a lot of different situations. You can use it for your Mega, and it'll do good. It'll do decent. But honestly, I think that my best showing for this would have been somewhere around the Ivor fight, and then I probably would have canned it immediately after. That's just where, like, my heart is on this. Alright. Manectric. Another solid tier. Unfortunately, this is a Pokemon that I ended up losing to the Mega Slowbro Rogue Mega Evolution boss fight. I think that I wouldn't if I tried to do it again today. I think I've gotten a little bit better at being able to recognize, okay, this is a move that will kill my Pokemon if I use a move at the wrong point due to positioning errors. This is whenever I was first getting into, like, the set of boss fights where, like, they would have AoE moves on the ground that would stick around and linger for a long enough time to be able to kill your Pokemon by the time that it ended. And unfortunately, that was enough to kill Manectric in one go. But outside of the boss battles, Manectric was great as, like, a super fast electric type It fulfilled the role that Dedenne could have filled. If it was just a little bit stronger. So that's why I have it in solid. If you ever need something that's going to be taking down water types or flying types, like this is what I would use for the most part. Or Ampharos. Either or. Probably more Ampharos, but still. Gardevoir, no surprise. A tier. Like, this thing is just amazing. It's got Psychic, it's got Moonblast. It's one of the only Pokemon that really gets Moonblast, which is insane. As well as Calm Mind and Thunderbolt. Decent enough coverage. You're not going to be disappointed having this thing on your team, and you probably should keep it on your team if you want to have like your strongest chance of winning in a fight. Because of that, obviously, Gallade is not going to be on this list. Just didn't really find any need to get it. Houndoom. This is a Pokemon where I pretty much would put it, like, side by side with Haku. Or, sorry, with Pyroar. They both kind of fulfill the same role. Pyroar has a slightly better time in the stat department because it's got a little bit more attack, and it's got, or for whenever it's, you know, still stuck with physical moves, and it's faster than Houndoom as well. Houndoom, I would think, would take the edge because of its dark type stab. You're gonna like this a little bit more than Pyroar in that regard, and just what it's able to one-shot more. Ironically, I ended up losing this to the Mega Victory Bell fight. Altaria. I hate that I have to put Altaria here. I really, really like Altaria, but I don't think I ever found a single matchup or I felt like I needed Altaria, or if I felt that like Altaria would even benefit me over any other Pokemon. And I hate that so much. Like, if I wanted to give it the benefit of a doubt, I could put it in good but outperformed or needs resources, because I feel like I would have to, like, use this thing as its mega form in order for it to be able to get anything done. And I don't think that that's good. Unfortunately, this thing would be a mon that I wouldn't really care if it died. Unfortunately. Pyro does have access to Earth Power, which is disgusting in this game. Yes, it does. Which, I mean, it's not bad. Like, you can give this thing, like, Heat Wave / Flamethrower alongside, like, Hyper Voice and Earth Power. And it's pretty decent. And you can have, like, Protect or Work Up for, like, your final slot. Whichever one that you really wanted to do. It didn't really matter too much. But, yeah, no, I acknowledge that's good. It is very good. I just think that Houndoom just has like a better typing, a better stab. Being immune to Psychic is pretty great, and having a very easy way to take down slimmer, frailer Psychic and Ghost types very easily is very nice. Audino. I actually got some decent use out of Audino, surprisingly. A little bit more than Clefable, which is weird, because I kind of used Audino the same way that I would use Clefable. I pretty much just gave it, like, a whole bunch of special moves. Gave it, like, Hyper Voice, gave it Moonblast, gave it... Or maybe it was Dazzling Gleam, I forgot which one. I know I had Draining Kiss for a little bit, but it's just one of your Calm Minders. It's not going to die easily. Mine did die, unfortunately. I'm going to blame LeBon for that. And her fucking Garchomp, but we're not going to go too deep into that. But yeah, no, I was very, very surprised with how much I was able to actually utilize out of this thing. It wasn't the best, obviously. Like, this thing has so many moves that are going to surprise you with how they almost kill things. But it's not going to die in one hit, and you can treasure that. Alright, next up. Aromatisse. Actually not cannon fodder, surprisingly. Keyword almost, correct. Honestly, if Aromatisse was another Pokemon that you can only really get outside of the wild areas, at least from the point in the game that I was at. So I didn't really have too many chances to shine. I think that this Pokemon actually could have been able to do some pretty good work. But this is just going to be another Calm Mind Sweeper with like Moonblast, Draining Kiss, and probably Psychic to take down poison types and stuff. It didn't really have an answer to steel types, I noticed, which is a big flaw. Very big flaw in Aromatisse. You don't want to have it up against anything like that. But aside from that, like it's a decent all-arounder. It'll get one shot by only the hardest hitting moves, but hopefully you keep it away from like gunk shots and Iron Tails, and you might be okay. Slurpuff. This is going to be the second one I put into the Surprise Me tier. Obviously, I was able to get away with like an alpha shiny Slurpuff and Poyo. This thing was kind of surprising, because whenever I first took a look at it, I always remember Slurpuff as being like a belly drum, unburdened Pokemon, and without abilities, like that niche for it is completely gone. So I didn't really think it was going to be too good. But even just looking over its stats, it's not remarkable, but like there's not a single bad stat on it. So you can make this thing into whatever that you want. I ended up making mine into a special attacker. You guys were pretty much able to see it for yourself. I've made this thing into like a... you could make it into like another Calm Mind Sweeper, basically. And it's got its Fairy-type moves, it's got Flamethrower, it's got Psychic. You can pretty much whip whatever you want on this thing and it's going to work. I do think that its access to Flamethrower does give it like a severe advantage over Aromatisse. Because it actually does have a way to actually hit Steel types. Steel types don't want to be in on this thing. And it's a little bit more deadly than Autono. So, that's what I learned on Slurpuff, my excerpt. We love you, Poyo. May you rest in peace. Best Mon, yeah. I was very pleased with it.
Oh my god, it's time to talk about Vaporeon.
I could feel confident putting Vaporeon on any team. It should be Giga Chad that saved you. Listen, I'm not gonna have Giga Chad up until the very end. So you'll see around that point. Vaporeon kind of saved me as far as like composition wise was concerned. I ended up losing a lot of my water types to the point where like I needed to get an Eevee specifically to get Vaporeon because I had no means of dealing water type damage. And ever since I had Vaporeon up until like the very end, I think that I didn't even lose Vaporeon until after the Tawny fight.
Did you know Vaporeon is the most compatible?
No! But, yeah, no. Vaporeon stays in A tier. My last team that I had it on was pretty much a very simple team. It's just like Surf, Ice Beam, and then you can have like Protect and Wish on it or something like that, and it's very hard to kill. And I really value that in a game like this, just because you don't want for things to die, and there are so many ways that things can go wrong if you don't have like a Protect move or some way to be able to heal. And the fact that this thing could also be like a cleric for like your other Pokemon too is so good. Yeah, no. But Vaporeon's good. Feel free to use. Lopunny. Oh my god, I feel like this thing is either at like the bottom of... No, I'm sorry. Lopunny is a Pokemon that I feel benefits from... Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'll put it up here. This is a Pokemon that, like, you don't get any good normal type moves in this thing outside of, like, Headbutt. And you don't want to have to rely on Headbutt. It gets better with a Megastone, obviously. You got yourself a pretty good fighting type there. So you need to make sure you have fighting type moves on this thing, because it's a whole lot better in that role than it is as being a normal type. What you doing? Hey, Captain. I'm making a tier list based off of the Pokemon that you were able to get in Pokemon Legends ZA and how they fit into a hardcore Nuzlocke. Basically just sharing my experiences with this one. Oh god, we got so many. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get through all of it tonight. But we'll see. We'll try to zoom on through. Bennett. Unfortunately, I never really found many opportunities to be able to use Banette over other Pokemon. Probably would not really care if this thing died, even if it was used as a Mega. I do think that it's... You know what? I'm putting Lopunny back down here. I think that Banette is actually better than Lopunny. Even with a Mega. Yeah, no. This is right. This is objectively correct based off of my experience. Banette's pretty strong. You can just whip this thing with like Poltergeist knockoff and Gunk Shot. Give it Swords Dance. It has like something that you can actually do with it, but in my opinion, you're not really gonna need Banette over other things, and it dies way too easily for it to be reliable for a lot of roles. If something is standing still and not doing anything at all, Banette can help you. Like if you could glitch like a rogue mega boss battle or something, it can do well in that regard. Otherwise, it's going to get like 1 or 2 shot by most things on the map. Hang on. Ice cream. No further questions. Oh my god, Chihiro, please. Okay, we're good. Self-destruct. Yes. Listen, we need the ice cream. If I had to be serious about this, though, like... I probably would put this in solid, just because this thing is fine for just being able to whip out ice moves. Probably one of the best at doing that, unironically, and I find that to be incredibly weird and kind of disturbing that Vanillix is that good in this game. I feel like it shouldn't be. It defies nature for me. Camerupt, very surprising that it's this good. Like, I freaking loved Venusaur in this game. It was so good. There's actually not too many sources of water-type damage in this game, I've noticed. Like, Lita is, like, your common water-type attacker. Not any of, like, the bosses, really. I'm trying to think, because you got Canary, you got Ivor, you got Gwen, you got Tarragon. Yeah, no, none of, like, the late-game fights really tend to focus on water types outside of, like, you know, you got the Mega Slowbro boss fight and stuff. You can count those, Aku. I'm personally thinking that, like, just because it's just the rogue megas, like you got the Starmie and then you got the Slowbro. Yeah, I think that you can count those, but even I think that there's like so few fights that you really need to worry about water type attacks that Camerupt is actually able to do something in this game. Like, you have a lot more things to fear that have like strong ground type moves, but Camerupt is only, you know, slightly super effective up from that. And its Mega Evolution is so bulky. Like, I need to make this clearer just real quick. So, Camerupt, before it Mega Evolves, it's not very bulky at all. This thing is primarily made to be like a mixed attacker. It's just got 70 HP, 70 defense, 75 special defense. But when it Mega Evolves, that gets bumped up to 100 defense and 105 special defense. This thing actually gets pretty tanky. It's not going to die to the first earthquake that hits it. And meanwhile, it's going to be dealing, like, boatloads of damage. No matter what way that you decide to build this thing, it's always going to be good with Earthquake, it's always going to be good with Earth Power, it's always going to be good with Flamethrower. I made mine to a special attacker, so this thing was going to be, like, Flamethrowing, Fire Blasting, and Earthquaking everywhere. Even building it in special attack doesn't mean that it's going to be slouching with killing flying types with Rock Slide either. Yeah, no, Camerupt, I think this is like the best game for Camerupt, unironically. Where are you? I haven't gotten to you yet, buddy. I think we're close. Yeah, we're very close. Hippopotas did not roll you. Excadrill? Definite A tier. 100%. Excadrill, I feel like this little guy does war crimes. He really does. He should not be hitting as hard as he does, and he can sweep so many fights for you. Giga Chad, I'm not putting anyone in Giga Chad until the very end. But I feel like Excadrill is one of the bonds that's just like, if you don't know what Excadrill can do, you're gonna swap this thing onto like a Mega Stone. You're gonna swap a Mega Stone on this thing, and you're gonna realize just how many things that this thing can one shot that no one else in the entire game is able to do. It's insane. Thank you very much for the high trade. I'll get that soon. Alright, let's see. Did not get the croc. Machamp, I'll put that in solid. Pretty decent. I feel like you could use this thing in more team compositions than just for the role composition that you would imagine it for. Does it have a niche? I honestly feel like this thing doesn't really have like any fights that it really shines on, because like you have Philip with the steel types, but Bro's steel types are like Caesar, which isn't really affected by fighting very much. You can give a fire punch and it'll destroy it though, so you got that going for you. But you're not going to be using Machamp up against Mega Skarmory, I feel. And Steelix, you're going to be in it for the long run, even hitting it with like Dynamic Punch in close combat. You named your Stanley? Very nice. But no, even still, like, Machamp isn't really going to go down to one thing very easily, unless if you're up against something like a Brave Bird. Are there like any flying type Pokemon that are just going to be killing Machamp in one Brave Bird? I don't think so. You're probably more worried about like Hurricane from a hard-hitting special attacker. Machamp's role is to pet 4 dogs at once. Yes, correct. But no, he's bulky enough to be able to get jobs done. He can keep himself up with bulk up. Drain Punch, Dynamic Punch is handy at times. And obviously you've got like Stone Edge and Earthquake that you can use for coverage, as well as Knockoff. So yeah, Machamp got a lot of uses. Fairly bulky. There aren't too many fights that I would say that he excels at, but there's nothing that he doesn't function in, I would say. He's got all punches? Yes, he does. He does have all punches. He better. If he didn't, I would be upset. Garchomp, very boring A tier. Yeah, no, he's insane. I don't gotta tell you that. Garchomp is insane. Moving on. Carbink. Carbink does have a minor niche in that this thing doesn't die easily. Obviously, you don't let this thing get hit by any steel-type move. It will shatter like glass. But everything else kind of bounces off of it. Now, the only reason that I have it in Cannon Fodder is because Carbink isn't going to be killing anything without hitting it like 4 or 5 times. And that's kind of a problem. You can give this thing like Reflect and Light Screen setups and use that to be able to like help out your team more so than actually like taking down other Pokemon. But something that I've kind of realized in Legends ZA is that the screens don't really last long enough for me to really get as much, or for me to really feel like it's worth like swapping into another Pokemon for. Because like I said before, like you swap out into a new Pokemon, it takes 5 seconds for them to be able to do anything. That just eats away at the timer way too much, I feel. If that wasn't really a factor, maybe screens would be able to be more handy in like the context of a hardcore Nuzlocke, but for right now I put it right there. Sableye, didn't get it. Mawile. Mawile wasn't bad. Mawile was not bad. But if you're not using your Mega Stone on it, Mawile's not really doing much for you. It also doesn't really get a lot of its hardest hitting moves until later into the game. Like, you need the TM for Iron Head up until, like, late 40s or something like that. And it takes a long time for it to get play rough as well. Like, whenever you first get this thing in, like, Wild Area 9, I think? Like, this thing is going to be running around with, like, Bite and Crunch as, like, its best moves for a long time. I've considered plussing screens because it does extend duration. Okay. Okay, maybe that's just me being bad then. I did not know that plussing screens increased the timer on that. That's really cool. Yeah, no, I think that would make it better. That'll probably make it a little bit better for me. Maybe next playthrough, I'll play around with Carbink in that regard and see if that helps out. That, or maybe I'll play around with it and be like, wait, hang on, why am I using like Mega Power for this? I could be using that and getting like a Mega Evolution up and running or something. I don't know. It's something I don't really know too much to be able to make a concrete answer for. But for right now, I'll have Carbink and Cannon Fodder. Absol, solid tier. I feel like actually I don't know if this puts him in surprising or A tier, but honestly, this thing does a lot of damage and will utterly decimate a lot of the mega rogue or the rogue megas that you come across your way. I was very, very surprised that this thing was going to do that. You know what? Hang on. I should put this in surprise tier. Yeah, I'll put it in the surprise tier. Because this thing is like an annihilator for like all the boss Pokemon that you fight in the game. And I was very surprised that it didn't like crumble at the slightest bit. Blows up like glass? I thought that it would. And in a lot of situations, maybe it should have. I remember sending this thing out up against Gwen, in her Mega Chandelure. I could have sworn that this thing was going to just like slam it with like an overheat and like cook it like a fried turkey. But no, I got lucky and it used Calm Mind instead. But Mega Absol, I feel, would have just it nearly killed that Chandelure with one Night Slash. I feel like if I Mega'd it, it would have one shot. And I think that speaks volumes for like its viability, I think. In a Nuzlocke, rather. But yeah, you're right. It does indeed blow up like glass, but every single time that I've had to use Absol, it's outperformed my expectations.
Okay, what else?
Lucario. This thing was way better than Machamp. Honestly, I'll probably put it at the top of solid tier. This was like my only real option for like a special attacking fighting type. And I kind of just made it like a Calm Mind set with like Flash Cannon. What else did I give it? It was like Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, and I gave it some other move. I think I gave it like Psychic. But yeah, no, this thing's pretty good. Lucario's pretty good. Not really much to say on that. I didn't really use my Mega Slot for it too often. I kind of dedicated that to other roles, but Lucario, you're not going to be disappointed in regard to using it unless if you're going up against other fighting types or a fire type. Alright, what else? Slowbro. Didn't perform as well as I thought it would. I would have expected it to be up here in the A tier. But it kind of ended up becoming like another Pokemon that I would choose over other water types for my Water, Fire, Grass cores. But it definitely did its job well in that regard. Heck, you saw that I was using it in the final portions of the game. I did believe in it. I believed in the cause. I believed in my bro. That's all I really got to say on it, though. Carvana didn't roll it. Kind of a shame. I would have liked to have used Sharpedo. Dynamo didn't roll. Dragonite. Boring A tier placement. This thing's freaking cracked. I made this thing into a special set. You don't get Mega Dragonite until like basically the last Mega fight of the game, and then you get into the your final promotion match, basically. But this thing's really good. Surprisingly doesn't fold to the slightest cold wind, which I'm happy about, at least whenever it's Mega Evolved. But yeah, no, this thing just kind of became everything that like Clefable would have wanted to be. Or it just has like a shit ton of coverage, and that's all that really needs. If this thing had Draco Meteor in this game, it would be crazy. It probably does, I'm just not at like the high enough level for it. Let's see. Bulbasaur did not choose that one. Charmander did not choose that one. Wartortle! This is the frowny face. This is the frowny face because I got my turtle killed. By mistake. It got eaten by a dog, and whenever I was taking it for a walk in the park. Draco's a TM? Oh, I should have got that. Or is it post-game? Yeah, no, War Turtle, I feel like it would have been really good. I might have even gotten it up into A tier, maybe. I was so sad, because War Turtle was a Pokemon that I really needed. This is back whenever I didn't really have a lot of water types. Stunfisk. Flat Frankie was like a godsend in like the very later portions of the game. I'm very surprised. I sent this thing out to be cannon fodder and it would just not die. It refused to. It had to stay and curse all of our lives with its flatness. Flat Frankie, I will salute you. You actually got me through a lot of hard portions of the game. It does have Draco, and I think it's TM above the Rust Syndicate hold. Oh, okay. I'm about to go check that out one later. Flat Frankie for the win. Correct. Furfro. Cannon fodder. I don't really think I'm really stepping on anybody's toes. This one. This thing needs better moves, to be honest. It's got Headbutt. It gets Hyper Voice, but the special attack is garbage. Other than that, this thing is going to be throwing out Headbutts, Crunches, and giving itself like Cotton Guard to make it annoying to kill. That's pretty much all it's got. Poor Fluffy Doggo. Yeah, I know. He's I love the Doggo, but I've lost too many dogs. My empathy is gone right now for it. Yeah, I wish it was better, but I think that they could have solved this if they just made Furfuro available a little bit earlier. Because you don't really get it until you get into the wild zone with, like, Clauncher and stuff. Maybe if they made it a little bit more available, it would have been good. Malamar didn't roll you. Skrelp didn't roll you. Clawitzer. Solid. Not much to really say about this thing. Very good water type. Hits really hard, has a lot of coverage. Sad that I lost it to a bunch of wild lions spamming earth power. It really did nothing wrong in my playthrough. I just lost it as like a first casualty to the lion pack. Goodra. This one should be in sad tier, but honestly, I think this has to go here. I don't think it makes it the solid tier. I tried to make it work. I tried to make it like a really good... I think it's better than Clefable at like what I ended up making it into, which was just another special type attacker that's super especially bulky and has a lot of coverage. But it folds to so much that the late game has to offer. It's very sad. Maybe I could have done a little bit better with it if I just focused on more boosting its defense so that it didn't like get two-shot by a lot of things, but it got two-shot by a lot of things. And it wasn't fast or strong enough to really make up for it. But it's a shame. Unfortunately, probably the worst ranking from any of the pseudo-legends berries that we're going to see here. But gotta speak from the heart. And from results. Delibird didn't roll you. Frostlass, honestly, also in here. Decent coverage. I forgot, did it get Calm Mind? I actually don't know if it got Calm Mind. Maybe I can double check that real quick, actually. Hang on. Oh, Nasty Plot is what it got instead. Okay. So it did have a way of being able to deal more damage, but it felt like this thing needed to have its Megastone if it was going to be dealing the damage that you needed it to do for its role. So it could definitely fulfill its niche, but outside of that, things got a little rough for it. We saw it pass during the first Mega, during the first Rogue Megas that we fought after the final Tawny fight, but yeah, it kind of lacks in a lot of aspects. Tree Figgy. God. Honestly, I think Tree Figgy goes in Cannon Fodder, actually. Yeah, I think it has to be here. Unfortunately, there are a lot of fire types in this game. A lot of things that are going to have fire coverage. A lot of things that are going to have flying coverage. A lot of things that are going to have... let's see, what else? We got rock, fighting. There are so many types in this game that just utterly destroy it, and they're in excess in this particular game. It kind of has like the opposite scenario as Camerupt, where like Camerupt, its biggest weakness isn't really seen too much. In Abomasnow, it feels like every single one of its weaknesses are everywhere. It does hit pretty hard though. I'll give it that. It does hit pretty hard, but it's one of those Pokemon where like, if I need an Ice type, I don't want to have to use Abomasnow, because Abomasnow is not really going to last too long in the fight. Bergmite did not roll you. Scyther didn't really find too many uses to get to whip you out. This was kind of a scenario with like Ariados where you couldn't really use a lot of your bug stab on a lot of things because everything just kind of resists you. And the flying moves that you got did not really hit as hard as what I really needed them to. And outside of that, I mean, it does get close combat. You know what? Yeah. That keeps it at least in C tier. The fact that it gets close combat. But it didn't really get too much else. And obviously I couldn't get Caesar. Maybe I should have checked the side quest that came right before the promotion match. Maybe I could have got it earlier. Maybe given it like an actually decent review. Surprisingly, Pinsir outshines Scyther by a large margin in this one. Just being able to whip out... It's got the problem of like its bug stab not really being too good. But this thing is also coming in with Swords Dance, close combat like Scyther, Rock Slide / Stone Edge, and Earthquake. It's got the coverage to be able to make up for the fact that like the bug type doesn't really do too well here. Racine is where you buy Metal Coat. You can get it after Canary. You can't get the Metal Coat, or you can't buy the Metal Coat until after post game. It's either that or there's a side quest that gives you 2 Metal Coats. But I think I know what you're talking about, Sean. You can buy them for like 3,000, but that's after the game is already completed. Let's see. Heracross. I'm going to put Heracross down here, not because I think that Heracross isn't good. I'm putting it there because by the time that I got Heracross, it wasn't really that good. Maybe if I used its Mega, it would have been a little bit better. Or maybe it was just like a very unfortunate turn for it. But by the time I started using Boys, it just wasn't... It wasn't the proper timing for it. Otherwise, I feel like I probably would have dumped it into A. Or the surprise tier, where Beedrill is right now. Mulga, Cannon Fodder. I don't think I'm really going to be getting much pushback on this one. It's a fast electric flying special type, or a special attacker. Not really too much else to talk about. Actually, no, I take that back. I think that my Mulga actually was stronger on the attack side. So I remember that Spark was dealing around the same damage as Discharge. But anyways, like both of its attack stats are kind of trash. It's just kind of fast, and it can zip around. You can hit things with Nuzzle and paralyze them, and then swap out. That's all it's really going to be doing. Hawlucha, a great example of a Pokemon that it needs its Mega Stone if it's going to be like worth too much. Otherwise, like you're going to be whipping out Brave Birds in close combats. Close combat is a risk, but definitely not as much as like murdering yourself with Brave Bird. you're probably going to be wanting to use this thing with like aerial ace and wing attack instead. It's probably got a couple of other flying type moves. I'm just not really giving it credit. But no. I think I probably have Brave Bird on this thing anyways. Like Brave Bird, Swords Dance, Close Combat, and Flying Press. I think that's probably the thing that you're going to be seeing on most of your movesets. Trevenant. Better than what I thought it would have been, but I don't think it makes it past Frostless, to be honest. Like, this thing's going to be... yeah, no, I don't think it makes best Frostless. This thing's going to be coming in with, like, Swords Dance, Horns Leech, Poltergeist, and probably Earthquake. Pretty decent set. If you need something that can take down other ghost types, or it's not too bad at taking down psychic types. It really doesn't have too many flaws outside of just not hitting as hard as what it probably should. Like, other things just hit harder than it, so you don't really want to have it be like your first pick for a grass type. Maybe. I might put this one in solid. We'll see. I might come back to him. Scrafty. I'm just going to put it in C tier. Didn't really have any moment in the game whenever I managed to snap Scrafty that I felt like I should have put on the team, but I don't think it's a bad Pokemon. I think you could definitely make better use out of it than what I could have. I just didn't roll it at a good time for me to actually start using him up. So that's what's going down here. Noivern. Okay, this is going to be one of those situations where I think that Noivern, if you let it get touched by ice moves, it will die, unequivocally. But I will put this thing just above Pidgeot, just because it performs its job a little bit better, and it's around the same bulk as long as you don't let it get hit by an ice type. Yes, it will. Yeah, but like the thing is, this thing still has like some decent moves and coverage. I honestly would put it in solid. If I think that I need to be able to take down basically anything that's not going to hit it with one of those things, so it's going to be good up against fighting types. It's a shame that I don't see too many applications of its Dragon Stab, because if it's up against another dragon, I don't really think it's going to be out competing it. But hey, it's going to be great at being able to spam Hurricane. Be great at spamming Heat Wave. Let me see, what other moves has he got? Okay, so I've got Hurricane, Dragon Pulse, Heat Wave, Protect on it. Boom Burst. Boom Burst is not bad on it at all. It's going to be dealing just like a little bit less than Dragon Pulse. Okay, maybe it's not really like that important for it to have that. Other than that, though, it's got like Flamethrower, it's got Psychic, it's got Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, Focus Blast. Okay, never mind. This thing's got more coverage than what I thought it did. It can hit things pretty rough. Okay, yeah, no, I'm fine with keeping it in solid. I think it does Pidgeot's job just a little bit better outside of its Megastone. You know what? Just for that, I will put Pidgeot above. Just a little bit. I think that that Noivern will make it like the bottom of solid tier. Klefki. Don't really have too much of a use. Prankster isn't a thing, and unfortunately his stats just don't really keep up here. It's another screener. Maybe if you whip out like the plus moves for its screens, it can do something. Other than that, nothing too special. Chandelure, solid. This thing probably was my best fire type outside of Camerupt. The coverage is good. You're basically just going to be hitting this thing with like Flamethrower / Heat Wave, Shadow Ball, and Energy Ball. Very good. Very good lineup. I'm fairly assuming this thing gets Dark Pulse if you're up against like Psychic types, but you're probably not really even going to care about those. Yeah, no, I think this is pretty good. That's a good spot for it. Aerodactyl did not grab that one. Tyrant did not grab that one. Aurorus. Oh god, I wish that I could put this thing in solid, but it's really not there. I'll put it like right here. It does get outperformed by other ice types. Not by too much. I think that its worst thing about it is the fact that it doesn't get the refrigerate ability. Because this thing does get a lot of normal type moves. But obviously you're not really going to be caring about that because you're not making them into ice moves and powering them up with refrigerate. This thing is basically just going to be throwing out its ice beams and blizzards, and it's going to be throwing out the occasional physical rock type move that it really wished it could replace with Power Gem. It gets 0 special rock type moves in this game, and I hate that. I wish that it got Power Gem. It would have been so good. But that's really all that it's got. I feel like Aurorus got really shafted in this game. It really did. I think next time I'm probably going to go with Aerodactyl or Tyrant. Probably for... I'll probably go Tyrantrum next time I play this game. For my fossil encounter. Rest in pepperonis. It's not cannon fodder tier, at least. Onyx. This thing probably should be cannon fodder tier. From the experiences that I've had with this thing in ZA Royale, I actually was able to find decent use up against a lot of the trainer battles, though. This thing just doesn't die to physical moves. Obviously, it surprisingly lived more special moves than what I thought that it would have. Obviously, don't send this thing into like a freaking Staryu or like a Mega Stormer or something like that. Don't do that. Do not do that. It will die. But if you're just up against like random physical attackers that aren't going to be hitting it super effectively, like Onyx is going to last a good bit, and it kills things that I don't believe that it should. It should not be killing. It should not be one-shotting anything, but it does one-shot some things. Even still, I think I do still have to put it in cannon fodder tier. Because even with Stone Edge, even with Earthquake, even with Iron Tail, it's blessed with good stab, but it's cursed by bad stats. So, gotta put it in cannon fodder. I wish that I could have made it into a Steelix. I feel like Steelix would have been probably an A tier, but for Onyx in particular, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the camera up theorem here. I think that the fact that there's not a lot of water types that you have to fight in this game, Onyx is able to shine a little bit more than what it should normally be able to. I'll just keep it at the bottom of C tier. The very, very bottom of C tier. Aggron. I put it right here. No. I think it goes right here, actually. Yeah. Right behind Roserade. The fact that ground is everywhere, the fact that fighting is everywhere, and Aggron dies to both of these, and like their weakest forms, I gotta put it right there. Helioptile did not get you. We're probably going to be speeding through a bunch of these because it's past midnight for me. Gorgeist. Yeah, this seems about right. Actually, I put it right here, actually. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. Kind of fulfilled the same role as Trevenant, except had a little bit more of a special attack. And the one that I got had Dark Pulse as an alpha move, which gave it a unique niche in being able to take down and being able to take down more psychic types. That's pretty good. Not my first pick for a grass type, but yeah. We know where this has to go. Sad face. Died to a Hone Edge. Could never get to the Tyranitar. Rest in peace, Bass. Greninja did not hit as hard as what I thought that it would. Actually, no, I can't put it right there. It still made up a choice that I could put for a Fire, Water, Grass score, so I'll put it right there. Maybe right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not the best water type you can get in the game, but not terrible. Phalanx, I did not roll you. Chestnut, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put you right there with Greninja, to be honest. I mean, oh god, I'm gonna be making people hate me with this. I think that both of these guys are at like the top of C tier now. There's not many fights that I really felt like I needed either of these two for, which maybe that was just because I didn't have the Mega Stones for them and I didn't want to lose them. Maybe I was just too cautious with them. But I'll put that in like needing mental resource because I really did not want to lose them. Delphox, probably the best fire type in the game. Just from what I was able to experience with Delphox during my time with it. Surprisingly, it was really, really, really good. Would highly recommend it in any playthrough. Still waiting for Giga Chad. I see. Salamence, boring A tier. You know how it goes. Kangaskhan. Right there. Right there. I feel like it could have had more of a purpose in the run. But you get it pretty late. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's okay. I don't think it's going to be outperforming too many things, though, that you already get around that point in the game. Drampa surprised me. I wish they got Drampa earlier in the game. I wish that you were able to get its Mega Stone earlier in the game. Like, maybe around, like, maybe rank C? Or rank D? Maybe rank D? Because I feel like this thing might fall off. Well, no, I'm sorry. Its special attack doesn't fall off, ever. And it survives more things than what I thought that it would. It does kind of fall under the tier where of like good, but it kind of needs like the mega resource. Outside of that, though, it's pretty good. I would recommend people giving it a shot at least. Belladum, I did not get you. And yeah, that is it. That is the full tier list. I think that we need to announce our Giga Chat. Now, a lot of people would think it's Poyo. I think that if it wasn't for one Pokemon, I would be putting Poyo here. I honestly think that my favorite Pokemon of the run to use, it was Venusaur the Camerupt. Just because of the expectations that this thing defied. The comfort that I was able to use this Pokemon was something that I never would have expected that I could get out of Camerupt. It was definitely the Pokemon that I had the most heartbreak whenever I lost it. And I do believe that it was like the best experience I had with a fire type on the run, even more than Delphox. Not me. It should be me. Sean, Excadrill was amazing in this run too, but Camerupt, I feel like Camerupt was like my all reliable. And I feel like a lot of my team building would have had a lot less heartbreak if I was able to keep Camerupt until the very end. So yeah, no, that is going to be my tier list. Let me... Let's see, can I just... It does not look good on stream. I will definitely put this on Twitter though, and let everyone be able to take a look at it from there. But no, that will... I think that's how we're gonna end this, because I need to go to bed. Thank you all for being able to come and join me on this adventure. This is good. This is good. You'll probably see me stream more of this stuff whenever the DLC comes out. I don't know if I'll do that with hardcore rules. From what I've seen of the game so far, I don't think I'm going to be getting my entire box up to level 100 anytime soon. Let alone 162 or whatever. But hey, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. Thank you all for joining, and I'll catch